Hello and welcome to Products on London Fan TV. Ali here, bringing you my match review of the game at Molineux, which finished, of course, Martin Atkinson 2, Crystal Palace 0. Anyway, let's get into the usual features of my match reviews. I'm going to be starting with Roy's rating, and I'm going to give Roy a 4 for today's game. I was disappointed mostly in the fact that he chose Luca over MacArthur. I think that just sort of, for me, embodies his rigid approach. He never likes to change a winning team, which you can kind of understand that mentality, but let's bear in mind that we've just beaten Fulham, probably one of the worst teams to grace the Premier League. And MacArthur, we know how important MacArthur is to us as a team, and particularly he would be important against a team like Wolves. His closing down. Last season he had one of the stats for the most blocks made in the Premier League. So he would have been really important in pressing Wolves, and rather than just giving them time to spray the ball and those defence-splitting passes that ultimately led to the first 2 goals. And then that in tandem with the fact that Luca has been well off the boil, and another poor performance from Luca. I thought he was well off the pace in the first half an hour. And that decision has a direct consequence, I think. It directly impacted the game. So for that reason, I give Roy a low rating. I thought he could have brought on subs at half-time. It was time to make a change. But I will give him credit. I think he must have had an impact in the half-time team talk, because we came up much better in the second half and were the better team in the second half. But let's not get carried away by that. The game was won in the first half an hour. And I think what we saw today really was a young, progressive, innovative manager in Nuno outwitting Roy's archaic approach. So I'm going to give Roy a 4. Going into the next stage, the ref rating, I'm going to give Martin Atkinson a -1. Now, first of all, I'd say the offsides were the correct decisions. Very marginal. I'd say on that Batshuayi, third time unlucky, or is he just mistiming his runs? He is offside a lot. But let's come down to the Wilf penalty decision, and the agenda continues. If anybody watched my video that I put out this week, Wilfried Zaha, the truth behind the stats, I mentioned in that video that Wilfried Zaha had the most VAR overturns of any player last season. But he didn't get the VAR overturn today, did he? And it's just, how is that not a penalty? It's stone wall. Okay, the ref could have missed it. It maybe in the run of play, it maybe didn't look that obvious. But VAR, if they can give a red card for Luca, how can they not give that as a penalty? I just give up with VAR, to be honest. It's about as inconsistent as Meghan Markle. You know how one day she wakes up, wants to be a princess, the next day she wakes up, doesn't want to be a princess. VAR one day wants to give the right decision, the next day it doesn't. Look at some of the penalties that have been given based on VAR reviews and how that's not given. I do know, because it's Wilfried Zaha. The agenda continues. And what I would say on that is, when are we as a club going to start protecting Wilf a little bit more? I think Roy, and I think in his post-match interview, I'm not sure Roy had time to really see that penalty decision. In his press conference, or in his next press conference, he needs to come out and back Wilf and highlight this agenda that there clearly is against him. The cliches that Wilf's a diver, he's complaining. Well, there's a reason he complains. It's because he gets so many bad decisions against him. And tonight was another one. But guess who? Martin Atkinson. And he definitely believes this narrative that is around Wilf, because he's given so many bad decisions against Wilf over the last few years. And you can just imagine their conversations in their little ref meetings, probably done by Zoom now. But, they're talking about Wilf. Surely Wilfried Zaha is diving, or Wilfried Zaha this, because the decisions against him, there has to be something there. The decisions against him are just happening again and again. As I said, last year, most VAR decision overturns. It didn't even get that today, but it was a clear penalty. And that is really my -1. Luca that's not actually the ref's fault, the sending off. It's the people who make the rules fault. I've said it on my videos before. Mike Riley, the general manager who presides over this VAR nonsense, how he's still in a job with how badly VAR has been implemented, I don't know. But -1 for the officials today. Having said that, I'm not saying that the official decision cost us the game. I do think the better team won. But still, it is the Wilf agenda that continues that I find extremely unfair. And at that point in the game, if it won the penalty then, well, then it's 2-1, then it could have turned. But no sour grapes in terms of results. I think it's a fair result, but sour grapes in terms of a few of that decision today. Finally, man of the match. It's a bit of a loose man of the match, really. To be fair, as I said, I do think the best team won, despite the refereeing decisions. Should have Townsend had better second half, but they were really poor in protecting the full-backs in the first half, so you can't give it to them. Batshuayi offside again. Maybe Wilf, because he probably deserved that penalty. He kept going. But it's a very loose man of the match. Let me know your thoughts. As always, do you disagree with my Roy rating? What are your thoughts on Roy at the moment? I think a big few weeks coming up. Leeds coming up. Burnley, Newcastle, West Brom, winnable games. And I think if we don't get 2 wins out of 4 there, I think at least the pressure starts to build on Roy. What are your thoughts? Where are you at on Roy Hodgson? What did you think about the referee's performance today? Please let me know in the comments below. And as always, if you like this video, please subscribe. New video that was out this week as well. Wilfred Saha, The Truth Behind the Stats. Check it out. I will see you next week. And hopefully next week we'll be feeling glad all over.